Takulandirani ku AMTV Malawi kuchimake kwa nkhani zenizeni. Ngati nkhani imeneyo kuno kulibe, dziwani kuti nkhani imeneyo ndi yabodza.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness has appointed the office of the rulers and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we ask you to behold with your abundant favors your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner, as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen.
General business, communication from the chair.
Morning, honorable members, and welcome. I have no communication to make.
General business, questions or notice to ministers for oral replies.
Thank you. We'll start with which questions, Honorable Deputy Leader?
Good morning, Right Honorable Speaker. We start with questions going to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. That is from question 28.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Leader. Honorable members, we'll start with question number 28 to Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. This is coming from the Honorable Member of Mzuzu City.
Madam Speaker, I stand to confirm that indeed question number 28 of today's paper come from Zuzu City. And before I sit down, let me also join my colleague in congratulating you for the wonderful appointment. And indeed, Madam Speaker, it's not easy for somebody to be chosen to go to Ukraine to solve issues of war. This is wonderful. And I am your landlord. I'm very proud. The house is happy, and indeed Africa, and indeed the whole world is really pleased with you. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Honorable Member from Zuzu City, and thank you for the compliments. Honorable Minister of Education, or Basic Education.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Wishing you a wonderful day. Let me appreciate you for giving me the floor to respond to questions to my ministry from the people of Mzuzu City through their representative in the House. And the question is to ask the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education to consider finishing the following projects: Mzilawayingwe Primary School. It's one project, I think. This project had stalled for a long time. Madam Speaker, let me also appreciate the honorable member for his question. And Mzilawayingwe Primary School is one of the primary schools constructed under the Urban Primary Schools Project to decongest neighboring schools in our 5 cities in Malawi. My ministry is aware that construction of Mzilawayingwe's primary school had delayed. The contractor demobilized due to insufficient and intermittent funding. This delay has had a negative impact on education because learners are being denied the opportunity to learn in a decent environment which would motivate them to attend classes on a daily basis and improve learning outcomes. This delay is also continues to subject teachers to teaching large classes in existing schools where teaching and learning are compromised. Madam Speaker, allow me to update the honorable member that although construction had stalled for some time at Mzilawayingwe site, construction works have been mobilized and the contractor is currently on site. He can actually attest to this as he's been telling me for the past 3 weeks. And I actually went to Mzuzu and also attested to myself that the construction works are back on. Let me also inform the honorable member, Madam Speaker, that my ministry split works at Mzilawayingwe into 2 phases. Phase 1 is construction of classrooms, and phase 2, construction of teachers' houses and administration block. Phase 1 is about to be completed, and learners will soon begin to use the classrooms. Thereafter, phase 2 to construct the teachers' houses will commence. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Honorable Minister of Basic Education. I will now have a supplementary from Katabe Central, and then Sholo South.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity to engage the Honorable Minister for Basic and Secondary Education for the 3rd time this year in this House, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you were I'm not reflecting on your office, but you came to Nkatabe, Madam Speaker, together with the First Vice Speaker to attend Martyrs' Day commemoration in Nkatabe, together with His Excellency, the State President, Dr. Razas Makathe Chakwera. Last year, at that function, Madam Speaker, the President directed that the government should construct a secondary school at Kapingama, in Nkatabe Central. Last year, I engaged the Honorable Minister, and when I speak to her personally, she sounds very friendly to me, and I think that whatever she says is being very sincere. My question is, the Honorable Minister admitted in this House that she is aware about this directive from the President to construct a secondary school in Nkatabe Central at Kapingama. Madam Speaker, where are we up to now, Madam Minister, Madam? What is causing the delay? Why is it that you are not complying to the directive of the President? Thank you, Madam Speaker, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Member from Katabe Central. Honorable Minister of Education.
Thank you once again, Madam Speaker. Let me also take this opportunity to thank our honorable member representing the people of Nkatabe Central for a supplementary question to the Ministry of Education for secondary and basic subsector. Madam Speaker, indeed, the honorable member has been engaging me on the mentioned secondary school at Kapingama that His Excellency, the President of this country, Dr. Makathe Chakwera, did give a directive that my ministry should construct. And let me assure the honorable member again that this secondary school will be constructed. We never go against directives from the head of state. He directed, and my ministry is on it. Secondary mene tipereka. Abwana nanena tipereka. That's what we are here for. If you have not seen a constructor on site, Honorable Nkatabe Central, it means we are not ready with resources. As soon as the resources are ready, we shall adhere to the directive. We want to, even without the directives, wherever they're supposed to be schools, be it a primary school, a secondary school, it is our duty to provide the same for the benefit of our students in Malawi, for the benefit of the Malawian nation. I submit, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Education, Cholo South, and then Lilongwe City Center.
Thank you once again, Madam Speaker, for giving an opportunity for the people of Cholo Southwest Masambanjati, T.A. Jangata, D.A. Mbawera, to ask the Minister of Education a supplementary question. My question, or my supplementary question to the Minister and the Ministry, is for your consideration in constructing girls' hostels at these following places. 1, Masambanjati CDSS, 2, Mwanya CDSS, lastly, Nkwangwa CDSS. These are schools that actually have so much registration of our young ladies, but because of long distances, some of the ladies there do not tend to finish their secondary school education. And lastly, Madam Minister, Madam Speaker, is to remind the Minister of Education that my grandfathers, my uncles at Nkoma area gave away land for the construction of Nkoma Secondary School. We have been requesting for this. You have told us the procedures on how this can be implemented. So we are so much worried as to when Nkoma Secondary School will be constructed. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Cholo South. Honorable Minister of Basic Education.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And let me also thank Honorable Member, my brother, for Cholo Southwest, for asking me a supplementary question where he would want to be considered for construction of girls' hostels at Masambanjati Community Day Secondary School, Mwanya Community Day Secondary School, as well as Mpangwa Community Day Secondary School. Madam Speaker, let me ask the Honorable Member representing the people of Cholo Southwest to put this question in writing, because this is something that we need to consider in a serious way at the ministry. I have taken note, but these be a new question and a pertinent one, but also important. Please, Honorable Member, do put this in question so that we can attend to it in a manner that deserves the same. On the second question, Madam Speaker, which the people of Cholo Southwest seek to ask also the Ministry of Education for Basic and Secondary Education to remind us that the grandfathers, uncles, the community in Nkoma are still waiting for a secondary school. I have taken note, Right Honorable Speaker. It is true that Nkoma area was had identified land that we should use to construct a secondary school. And if my memory serves me correct, this could be a seed secondary school. As you may be aware, Madam Speaker, and the whole House, that we did not construct all the seed secondary schools that had been earmarked as the development partner had run out of funds. We are coming up with a plan in the ministry to attend to the rest of the areas that have land identified so that we can give them the secondary schools that had been allocated through the seed program. So we will revisit the remaining of the sites, and we would do the needful once the resources or once our development partners that do hold our hands are available to do the same. We remain committed to make sure that secondary education is provided through these constructions in those areas. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I submit.
The Honorable Minister, we now go to question 29, Mangochi Malombe. Oh, sorry, Lilongwe City Center, and then, yeah.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for according me this chance to ask a supplementary question to the able Minister of Education. My supplementary question, Madam Speaker, is to seek a policy direction which is there in the ministry regarding the off roofs of our primary school and the secondary school. You know, Madam Speaker, most schools, including Mvama Primary School, the teacher's house, the roof was blown off some months ago, but up to now, there's nothing to rehabilitate the same. So I would like to find out if there is any such good policy to make sure that as soon as a roof of a school has been blown off, a direction is there to make sure that rehabilitation takes place within a shortest period of time. I so submit, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Member for Lilongwe City Center, Honorable Minister of Basic Education.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to respond to a supplementary question posed to the Ministry of Education, Basic and Secondary subsector, which is coming from the people of Lilongwe City Center through their representative, and it is a policy direction question. Honorable Member would want to find out the kind of policy that we have for roofs or roofing, for roofs that are blown off in primary schools and secondary schools. Our rehabilitation plan from the ministry on the same. He cited that a teacher's house at Mvama School was blown off and it needs attention. Madam Speaker, let me appreciate Honorable Member for his pertinent and important question. And let me advise the Honorable Member that we do have a policy where we, as the ministry, we allocate some funds that are supposed to attend to these. But unfortunately, I think most of the times the budget line is not enough to cover all the affected schools or teachers' houses across the country. And usually this issue also, Madam Speaker, falls under DODMA, because usually when this is happening, it's usually a lot of houses, a lot of schools that are affected. So we usually rely on DODMA, but that policy is there, only that the resources allocated may not be sufficient to cover all the schools when this happens. But I think what remains for us, maybe for this House and even for us in the ministry, is to ensure that maybe we allocate more funds to this budget, or we even look into other legislative frameworks that can actually be devised, that can actually come on the floor in this House to actually mitigate this kind of a challenge. But let me also assure the Honourable Member that if he puts the question in writing, we at the ministry can find other means to assist him. Submit, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Honourable Minister. We now go to question 28. Sorry, question 29, Mangwechi Malombe. Mangwechi Malombe is not in the chamber.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Now we can go to question, going to the Minister of Lands, question from 33. I submit.
Thank you. Question number 33, Ncheu North. Ncheu North.
I thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing the people of Ncheu North to ask a question. Indeed, question number 33 is represented by the people of Ncheu North. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Ncheu North. Honourable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. And let me join colleagues in congratulating you for the global appointment for the peacekeeping in Ukraine. Right Honorable Speaker, you are indeed our pride. Right Honorable Speaker, through you, let me thank the Honorable Member for Ncheu North. Ncheu North, where we have Unkosini, and that is Rizulu, and indeed some other surrounding areas, the Maseko Ngoni. The Honorable Member for Ncheu North is asking the Minister of Lands to consider rehabilitating the 4 houses that are at Rizulu Police Unit, which are dilapidated and uninhabitable, and to consider building some new houses out of the 10,000 houses that government is implementing. And that currently at Rizulu Police Unit, there are 40 officers who live in distant, insecure rented houses along the Mozambique border, and it becomes difficult to organize when there is need for security operation. Right Honorable Speaker, in the August House, as you are aware, the government is constructing houses for Malawi Police Service across the country under the construction of 10,000 houses for security institutions projects, which is being implemented by the Chakwera administration through my ministry. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm glad to inform the August House and indeed the Honorable Member for Ncheu North in particular, that my ministry already inspected the 4 houses at Rizulu Police Unit in order to assess and determine the level of dilapidation. I would like to agree with the Honorable Member that the houses are indeed in very dilapidated shape and inhabitable. Right Honorable Speaker, let me gladly inform the August House and the Honorable Member for Ncheu North that my ministry is constructing 10 houses for officers at Rizulu Police Unit in the current phase of the 10,000 houses for security institution projects. Procurement of a contractor was completed and the site handovers were already done. And the contractor will be on the site very soon. And by extension, let me say that the 10 houses are part of the 40 houses, with 30 houses spread across the following police units. That is Biliwiri, and some will be allocated to Tsangano, but also Gambironje, and these are all in Ncheu district. Construction of the houses will ease pressure for accommodation for Malawi Police Service at Rizulu in Ncheu North. Right Honorable Speaker and the August House, as for the rehabilitation of dilapidated houses, the Honorable Member may wish to raise the issue with my counterpart, the Minister responsible for Homeland Security, so that these houses are included in the routine maintenance schedules within the Malawi Police Service. But let me also extend, just as my honorable colleague, the Minister of Homeland had alluded to yesterday, that perhaps within the CDF, as it is now at 200 million, in terms of rehabilitation of institutional houses or indeed police houses, the Honorable Minister may wish to tap some resources from the CDF and do some rehabilitation. I submit, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Lands. Honorable members, now get Honorable Member for Rumpi West.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for recognizing Rumpi West to give a supplementary question, but let me join my colleagues who have congratulated you for being appointed and rising. You are now the Malawian rising star. Congratulations, Madam. You deserve it. It's a prestige to the family. Madam Speaker, I wanted to ask the Minister of Lands, we have heard that Lumpi has been considered with 90 security houses, which are yet to start. If you may consider part of the allocation to Borero police unit, which by then we only managed to construct the police unit, we couldn't manage to come up with the security houses, as well as consider the house at Lumpi Boma, because this is one of the institutions which has got the oldest houses for our security personnel. Thank you, Madam Speaker, Madam.
Thank you very much, Lumpi West. Honorable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, and through you, let me thank the Honorable Member for Rumpi West. The Honorable Member is asking my ministry to consider allocating some police houses units at Bolero, but also at Rumpi Boma. Right Honorable Speaker, in the August House, let me indeed confirm that 90 houses within the 10,000 housing police or security institutions, security houses projects have been allocated to Rumpi. And out of the 90, we have 78 for the police and 12 for immigration. So let me assure the Honorable Member that within the 78, that will be spread in the Rumpi. Part of the same will be allocated to Bolero Police Unit. And indeed, the rest will be allocated to Rumpi Boma, but also some other needed police establishments in the district. I submit, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Very much. In Chewu South.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for recognizing me to ask supplementary question on the Minister of Lands. I would like to ask the Minister if they can consider to construct staff houses at Sezani Police Unit and in Tonda Police Unit, where police officers they are renting around the community. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
In Chewu South. Honorable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honorable Member, my dear brother veteran from Chewu South. Honorable Member from Chewu South would like to my ministry or to ask my ministry to consider allocating some houses, police units at Senzani, and indeed the other police unit that he mentioned. Right Honorable Speaker, the August House has already alluded to in the area question from Chewu North that we have 40 houses that have been allocated to Chewu Boma, and within the same, part of it would be allocated to Senzani and indeed the other police establishment. Suffice to say that in the coming phase, we may also wish to consider allocating the same, and let me ask the Honorable Member to liaise with the local leaders on the ground and indeed the officer in charge for Chewu, so that pieces of land should be provided, and as such, that the Minister of Lands should get on the ground and allocate the number of units as per required and per the sizes of pieces of land that will be available. I submit, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Thank you. Kasungu North, then Mazomba Malo.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for granting an opportunity to the people of Kasungu North to ask a supplementary question to the Minister of Lands. The question from the people of Senior Chief Kaluma is to ask when the contractor for the construction of police houses identified by the Minister of Lands, Manobek Building Contractors, will be on site to that work. That's part one of the question. The second part is to ask the ministry whether we as community members led by their MP can have powers to take some few houses from the allocation of Nkamenya Police to be constructed at the 2 police units. That's those police units and Nkamenya Police. That's Nkakama and the Chimaliro Police Unit. I don't know if that can be a solution, because Kasungu North have received houses at Kamenya as well as Chatoloma Police. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honorable Member for Kasungu North. The Honorable Member for Kasungu North is really very appreciative, considering that the Chakwera administration has actually provided security houses to Kasungu North, and in particular at Nkamenya and Chatoloma, several units, and is actually seeking guidance as to when the contractor will be on the ground. Right Honorable Speaker and the August House, let me assure the Honorable Member that indeed all the procurement processes were already done and completed, and very soon the contractor will get on the ground as he's mobilizing. And in the same vein, he was wondering as whether the community will have some powers to do some reallocations of the already allocated police houses within the area to some other needy areas within the constituency. Right Honorable Speaker and the August House, let me assure the Honorable Member that this is doable as long as there's consultation between the local communities and the authorities within the police establishment. In this regard, the Minister of Homeland, through their officer in charge, so that allocations could be done on needed basis. So yes, allocations within the Kamenya and the Chatoloma areas could be done administratively, and some other areas in terms of some lesser police units and police posts could also benefit from the same load. I submit, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Zomba Malusa.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving people of Zomba Malusa to ask a supplementary question to the Minister of Lands. My question is about Domas Police Unit. I've used CDF to construct a new structure there, but police men are lacking houses. So I would like to ask your ministry if it can consider 2 or 3 houses on Domas Police Unit. And my second part is houses with people of albinism. I hope we are aware that Zomba hasn't benefited. My constituency has over 25 people of albinism. If 2 or 3 people can benefit on that, we appreciate. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister.
Very much. Honorable Minister of Lands, although is the next question related, you're talking of police houses and you're now talking of houses. I don't think that is being fair to the minister. They are not related. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honorable Member for Zomba Malosa, my dear sister. The Honorable Member is a bit clever, noting that in terms of construction of houses for security agencies, but also that my minister is also responsible for the construction of houses for people living with albinism. Right Honorable Speaker and the August House, let me appreciate the Honorable Member that she's aware that the Chakwera administration is actually building houses for the security institutions, and in this regard, she's done an initiative to construct a police unit at Domas Police. And considering that it's a beautiful establishment, she's actually looking for allocation of 2 to 3 houses at the establishment. Right Honorable Speaker and the August House, let me assure the Honorable Member that as long as the pieces of land at Domas Police Unit, my ministry is coming with energy to construct the houses as per the demand. What I would ask of the Honorable Member is to liaise with the local authorities and indeed the responsible officials at police establishments, especially the officer in charge for Zomba, to consider within the Zomba location to spread part of the same to Domas. Let me assure the Honorable Member and the August House that Zomba has got so many
police houses that have been allocated to Zomba.
And within the same lot, definitely some could be allocated to Domas. By extension, Honorable Sister, houses to do with albinism, perhaps I would ask you to formulate another question specifically towards construction of houses for people living with albinism. Suffice to say that we have what it takes to come to Domasi to construct 2 or 3 regarding for people with albinism. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Very much, Honorable Minister of Lands. Honorable Deputy Leader.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and let me thank the Honorable Minister of Lands for his responses. I hope, Honorable Minister, you also remember the people of Ikwendeni and the people of Chuamadambe will also need the security houses. Right Honorable Speaker, now we go to questions going to the Minister of Information from question 30, and they'll be handled by Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry. I submit.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, we go to question number 30. The Honorable Member for Karonga Central is sought leave of absence. He's doing other parliamentary work, so this can come, I think, next week, because the Honorable Members is doing parliamentary business. Next is question number 31, Rumpi West. Please put the...
Once again, thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing Rumpi West to confirm that question standing under my name, question number 31 on today's order paper, comes from the people of Bembe, Sokoro, Bata, Ruhono, Chiola, Chitanga, Luviri, and the rest of Rumpi West as you go to Nyika. I do confirm.
Thank you, Rumpi West. Honorable Minister of Trade, standing in for Minister of Information.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and through you, let me thank the Honorable colleague from Rumpi West for the question number 31 on today's order paper. The question is to ask the Ministry of Information and Digitalization that in 2023, during the November sitting, when the Minister was answering to a question from Rumpi West on provision of a network tower to the people of the constituency at Bembe, the Ministry promised that the tower would be installed by December 2023, but until today, there's no tower. When should the people of Bembe, Chiola, Chitanga, Ruviri, and Bata expect to have the tower? Madam Speaker, let me sincerely thank the Honorable colleague for the question, and plans to deploy the tower at Chitanga, Ruviri are in the pipeline, and the Honorable Member may wish to know that surveys were already done and land acquisition was also completed. However, deployment is pending budget allocation, and Madam Speaker, in accordance with the National Digitalization Policy, the government is endeavoring to ensure that all parts of Malawi are connected, including the remotest parts and the hard-to-reach areas. As such, we will continue to explore best possible means, and this includes negotiating with the operators. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister of Trade, Honorable Member for Mangochi North, then Doangala, and then it's Machinga North, sorry, Machinga North.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Madam Speaker, for recognizing the people of Machinga Northeast constituency to ask a supplementary question to the Minister of Information. First of all, congratulations are in order to you. Madam Speaker, I wanted to find out from the Minister of Information to say, where are we? Because last time I stood here to say, Kwakwata Trading Center, which is in Mozambique, there is a tower which is called Nkopo, but yet the trading, we are not covered. Still the network of Mozambique is troubling us. We can't go through TNM as well as Airtel. So I stood last sitting to say this is what we're experiencing, and the minister assured me to say they will look into this. Up to this time, still in Kwakwata, we are not assessing any of the network, TNM as well as Airtel. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Madam Speaker. Madam, thank you.
Thank you, Machinga North. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and through you to thank Machinga North for the question. And I think the question is regarding the Kwakwata Trading Center, which also came in this house previously. Allow me to assure the honorable colleague that I'll be submitting to the ministry a reminder of the commitment that was made earlier, because like I said, they are waiting for some budget allocations to be able to finalize some of the works that they had made promises to, and I would make sure that the trading center being mentioned here is taken care of in the annual plans. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Doangara, and then Kota South.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to ask a supplementary question to the Minister. If you could consider assisting us with a network tower from where we have one of the best hotels, Calipan Hotels. That area, you have big problems with the network. So we have the Calipan area, the Mondo areas, Chawale, going to Kapalanga, Chandawe, Chizrondo. Those areas we're having serious problems with networks. Would you please consider us with a tower? Thank you. What do you want to do?
Honorable Minister of Trade, standing in for Minister of Information.
Right Honorable Speaker, through you to thank the people of Doangala for the question that has been asked, most especially requesting the tower, terminating tower around areas, so around Caripano Hotel or ending Caripano Hotel. And I think for the tourism potential that this area holds, the question really is pertinent and needs attention. Because it's the first time for the ministry to hear of this request, I would try to formalize this request so that the ministry can put in its plans as they try to cover the whole country with network. Thank you.
Thank you. Kota South.
Thanks very much, the Right Honorable Speaker. I stand to ask the Minister to consider constructing a network tower at Mpandamaje Tadwe. This tower can assist people of Mansambo area and Hondo area in Nchisi. Up to now, the people of this area, if they want to communicate through phones, they have to climb the trees or go on the mountain or another place. So I would like to ask the minister if they could consider that these people now, they should be like other people in this new era and age. Thanks very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable from Kota South. Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, again to thank my colleague, the Honorable Member from Kota South, asking about Pandamadzi Center for a tower. Right Honorable Speaker, the digitalization policy is very clear that government would endeavor to make sure that all areas are covered with network, because communication is an integral part to development, and the people of Pandamadzi, without network communication or network connection, communication becomes very difficult. As a result, even development works slow down. As a result, let me assure the honorable colleague from Kota South that the request has been noted, and in a master plan for the ministry in putting up towers across the country, Pandamadzi Center will definitely be incorporated. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Go to question number 32, Salima Southeast.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for recognizing the people of Salima Southeast. Yes, I should congratulate you for the appointment. You have my blessings. Madam Speaker, she has my blessings. Madam Speaker, I rise to confirm that the question number 32 is indeed comes from the people of Salima Southeast. Thank you, Madam.
Very much, Honorable Member. For Salima Southeast, Honorable Minister of Trade, standing in for Minister of Information.
Thank you, Right Honorable colleague. I think, Right Honorable Speaker, Salima Southeast is one of the luckiest honorable members in the House. So when he pronounces blessings, we should not take that lightly. I'm sure he knows where he's coming from to pronounce those blessings on you, Right Honorable Speaker. The honorable colleague is asking the ministry to consider constructing a network at Gwirize Trading Center. And this tower will assist the people of Umnoroma, Chindingwa, Kutsanja, and Naliwomba to access good network. And Right Honorable Speaker, TNM, through the Malawi Digital Broadcasting Unit, has recently commissioned a tower at TA Pemba and surrounding areas, including Gwirize. And the areas will be revisited to assess if the network from this newly commissioned tower is not sufficient in the locations mentioned. If another tower is required, it will be considered in the subsequent budgets. But in the meantime, would want through TNM to assess the tower that has been elected at Pemba to see if it can also cover areas, and if not, then subsequent actions would definitely be taken for the people of Gwirize. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister, Lilongwe Kumachenga.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker, for considering the people of Lilongwe Kumachenga to ask a supplementary question. I would want to ask the Minister if he may consider erecting a network tower amidst the areas of Ngongonda, Mphaza, Mtokale, Mphonde. Madam Speaker, you may wish to know that I've stood for this question for several times, and we are really in need of this service, if possible, Honorable Minister, this time. And maybe to extend this, Lilongwe Kumachenga is not just a constituency, but it's a constituency which is close to the urban, the Lilongwe city, where the usage of gadgets is just on the higher side. So if possible, this time, may you consider us giving us a tower. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Lilongwe Kumachenga. Honorable Minister of Trade, standing in for Minister of Information.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and allow me to thank Lilongwe Kumachenga, my fellow director, for the question that he has raised for the people of his area. Let me agree with the honorable colleague that Machenga is very close to the city of Lilongwe, and therefore the uptake for usage of mobile phones and technology gadgets is really very high. I'm not surprised that he's really speaking for the people of his area to have this network connection. He says that the issue had come before the House before, and allow me to give Lilongwe Machenga assurance that his persistence we should be able, as they're putting up a new plan, pending the budgets that are coming, we should be able to put his area as one of the priorities in the new budgets that are coming. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Dedza North and Mangochi West.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for allowing the people of Senior Chief Tambala and the Senior Chief Jauma to ask a supplementary question to the Minister of Information. Madam Speaker, first also let me take this opportunity to congratulate you for that high post in the IPU. And as a chair responsible for gender issues in this parliament, we are very proud of your achievements. And as you take the Malawian flag higher and higher, and you have broken lots of records, and we hope you keep on breaking more. So on behalf of people from Senior Chief Tambala, Honorable Minister of Information, in my constituency, there is only one area called Chetsa. It is an area that has total blackout when it comes to phone network. This area is closer to Tuma, is along the Tuma forest. And I've been standing in this August House, kudandaula anduna kuti kuchetsa kukufunika network ya mafoni. Chifukwa ndiye vuto lawo lalikulu kwambiri kuchetsako. So, Honorable Minister, I'm just repeating that request to remind your minister because I already passed that information. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, no, Honorable Minister of Information.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you to thank the colleague from Dedza North for reminding the ministry about Chetsa. And I think, Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable colleague has just made a compelling case why our parliament sometimes needs to be in vernacular, because I think he's trying to communicate with people around Chetsa so that they hear what the honorable colleague is up and about in the House. Let me reiterate what I'd said earlier on, that the ministry is looking at all the requests that have been made in this House before, so that as they prioritize the upcoming budget, they can see to what extent they can fulfill some of these requests. But there is also serious engagement with the private operators, Airtel, TNM, and others, so that they also take part in erecting these towers, because in the end, it benefits government through our digitalization drive, but it also benefits the private sector because it's them. So that collaboration is also going on, and we believe that after the budgets, most areas should be connected with a network. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Very much, Mangochi West. Mangochi West had recognized you.
Yes, here I am, madam.
Oh.
This side.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Can you give us, I can't see the honor. Yes, thank you. Proceed, Honor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Good morning and congratulations for the appointment. Thanks for the opportunity for the people of Mangochi West to ask the supplementary question to the sit-in Minister of Information. And through you, Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister if he can consider providing networks to the following training centers. We do have Mangombo, Funwe, Kaiche, Chimvu, Binari, and Tsanya. These are the fast-growing training centers with a lot of social and economic activities taking place. But their only drawback is about network. Honorable Minister, you know, communication is very vital. Please, can you consider us with network towers? Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Mangochi West, Honorable Minister of Trade, standing in for Minister of Information.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and through you, let me thank Mangochi West for the question that he has posed for areas like Fumwe, Kaiche, and other areas. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to say that the request has been noted. However, it is best to formalize some of these requests. It's unlike honorable members who already submitted a formal question regarding their areas, because at the ministry we do have those records. And when the time of consideration comes, it's easier to pull the records and be able to fulfill the requests of honorable members. So I would still advise, having noted the question, that sometimes it's best to still present the formal question, because the formal question then is sent to the ministry, then we have a record, then it's easier to follow through, rather than asking it by way of a supplementary question when there are new sites or new areas. Nonetheless, this has been taken note of, and we'll consider in the subsequent budgets to see that Kaiche and Fumwe are connected to network. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Where do we go next? Honorable Deputy Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, we go to questions under Minister of Agriculture from question 43.
Thank you, honorable members. We are now attending to questions pertaining to Minister of Agriculture. Nkhotakota Central, question number 43.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving us an opportunity, the people of Malenga Chanzi and Senior Chief Mponde, to confirm that the question 46 appearing on today's order paper is indeed from
Members, question 41.
Yeah,
Sorry?
41.
Sorry, 43. Sorry, 43.
Okay, question 43 is indeed from the people of Nkhotakota Central constituency.
Thank you, Nkhotakota Central.
It is here.
Honorable Deputy Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam. In the first place, before answering the question from the Honorable Member of Nkhotakota Central, let me thank His Excellency, the President, for appointing me to be in his cabinet as the Deputy Minister of Agriculture. And let me also congratulate you for the tasks that the IPO has given you globally. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Member for Nkhotakota Central is asking my ministry to consider the extent of damage caused by floods in the last rainy season on agricultural infrastructure and the threats that have been posed by the attendant damages. He is asking the ministry What is the minister doing to avoid further damages on on the such structure and help the communities to utilize the facilities to contribute to the country's food production? Example of the affected facilities in his constituency are Bua Rice Irrigation Scheme and Chingari Dam and Tiwi Irrigation Scheme. Madam Speaker, I thank Honourable Member for Kotakota Center for his question. Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member may wish to note that my ministry is aware of the extent of damage and the need to rehabilitate the floods damaged irrigation schemes in the country in order to restore their production capacities. As for Bua and Chiringari irrigation schemes, I would like to inform the Honourable Member that I personally visited the two sites irrigation schemes to appreciate the extent of damage and assure the beneficiary that the government will ensure that the schemes are rehabilitated to restore production and contribute to increased productivity and commercialization. Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member may wish to note that my ministry has already conducted a detailed assessment of the damages and determined the rehabilitation requirements for the two schemes, and my ministry has engaged partners to assist in the rehabilitation of the schemes. Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member may wish to note that the Chiringari Irrigation Scheme, CISP plans to rehabilitate the old 1 and 2 flood protection band and to construct a new 1 kilometer flood protection band to protect the scheme from future floods. The CISP has already handed over contractor at the site to carry out the works. The Honourable Member may also wish to note that my ministry, through the Malawi Food System and Resilience Project, has committed to rehabilitate the slip well, pipeline, and infield works. The works are expected to commence in August 2025. After completing the detailed designs and procurement process for the contractor. Madam Speaker, let me take also this opportunity to the honourable members in this August House that Bua Irrigation Scheme, my ministry through the Malawi Food System and the Resilience Project has committed to rehabilitate the intake, the pipeline and infield works. The assessment were completed and the farmers are being organized through the producer organization for the irrigation scheme to benefit under the last mile infrastructure development component of the project. The works are expected to commence again in August. After completing detailed designs and the procurement processes for the contractor. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Minister. Doa West.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for recognizing the people of Doa West.
Honourable Member, you're rising on a supplementary? Oh, the owner of the question is rising on a supplementary.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for giving us an opportunity to ask a supplementary question. Madam Speaker, I've heard from the Minister of the timeline when the rehabilitation is to occur, but on Bua scheme, I'm worried, Madam Speaker, simply because this time relying much on water from rivers like Bua River is unpredictable. Perhaps I would wish if the source of water for irrigation scheme would be changed to Lake Malawi, or else if they would drill some wells to provide water at Bua scheme. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kodakota Central. Honorable Deputy Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the supplementary from the owner of the question. I would like to recommend the honorable member for the suggestions that he has put forward concerning BUA. The ministry will look into that, and some processes may be acted very soon. We'll do that immediately. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Minister of Agriculture, Doa West.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for recognizing the people of Doa West to raise a supplementary question. Right Honorable Speaker, I wanted to know from the Honorable Deputy Minister of Agriculture whether there is a deliberate effort within the ministry to actually construct irrigation schemes in various parts of the constituencies based on cost-effective technologies. I'm thinking about solar pumping schemes. We have got potential sites for installation of solar pumping systems. Say, for example, at Nkwenya in my constituency, we also have got other potential sites at Mwimba and Mondwe. These are strategic sites that can support the country to become food secure. And the last supplementary is actually related to the same irrigation infrastructure that was actually affected by the heavy rains. We have got an F dam. I wanted to find out whether the minister is in a position to make thorough assessment so that those particular dams, especially the one at Nhanga, could be rehabilitated to support the communities engaged in intensive irrigation. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I submit.
Thank you, Doa West. Honorable Deputy Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the supplementary from Doa West. Madam Speaker, my ministry has all those plans that Doa West has asked, and this will be done. The ministry is well organized in the structure, like it has a lot of sections. So the ministry is planning to support irrigation immediately. This because the hunger situation we have this year, we have a lot of means through irrigation by looking at a section whereby solar pumps should be procured and given to each section of agriculture. The country in total has 2,880 sections, which translate each EPA has minimum of 7 sections. So as the ministry is planning to buy solar pumps to irrigate in all areas which has potential with a lot of water so that we can have a lot of maize this year. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Deputy Agriculture, Lilongwe North.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. It's Lilongwe Northwest.
Northwest, sorry.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Every member is prompted to congratulate you on the appointment at the IPU just because you are such a blessing to this house. So congratulations from Kasia and Malengo. Madam Speaker, I want to ask a question to the Ministry of Agriculture on the ministry policy on rehabilitation of Admarc markets. I have in mind the state of the market at Malembo, Kasia, Tondo, Chikowa, Demera, and Ngombe at Kapuzawa. They are in a very dilapidated state. So I wanted to know from the Ministry of Agriculture on the rehabilitation of these markets. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Lilongwe Northwest. Honorable Deputy Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to thank the member from the Lilongwe Northwest for his supplementary question to rehabilitate Admarc in the country. Madam Speaker, this question can be new. I would like to advise the honorable member to put that question in writing so that the ministry should come up with all plans concerning the rehabilitation of all Admarcs in the country. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Deputy Minister, indeed, I should have cautioned the honorable member that this question was actually not related to the response that the minister was giving. Thank you. We will now go to, sorry? Oh, we had one more person to respond to, for a supplementary. Central. Because I've already recognized that.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving space to the people of our Central to make a supplementary question to the Minister of Agriculture. My question is policy related, mainly considering the issue of irrigation vis-a-vis the dams that exist in our constituencies. Madam Speaker, you may recall that previously, during the Malawi Congress Party of Dr. Kamuzu Banda, almost each and every constituency had dams which were being used for irrigation. The main purpose was to avert the hunger situation in the country. But with the changing of governments, those dams have been put to no any use, and many of them have stopped working. So my question to the ministry is to appreciate if they have any policy or plans to rehabilitate all the dams in our constituencies, not only our Central, but all other constituencies, so that it can complement to the efforts or initiatives that are already being done to promote irrigation as well as averting hunger. In my constituency as Lower Central, I have about 3 main areas, if not 4. We have Diliro Dam, we have Chimungu Dam, and we have a dam in Kanyungu River. If these dams could have been rehabilitated, it means that our people would easily be doing irrigation in these areas, so that we can facilitate to avert hunger in our areas. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Member for Lower Central, Honorable Deputy Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Let me thank the Honorable Member for Lower Central for his supplementary question, where his concerns is on the rehabilitation of dams to facilitate irrigation in the country. Madam Speaker, may I just take this opportunity to tell the honorable member that Dr. Chakwera's administration is working towards rehabilitation of dams to enhance irrigation. The ministry has a lot of plans that all existing dams that are not working has to be rehabilitated. In addition to this, the mega farms that are trying to take more part in irrigation and even drilling boreholes to facilitate the irrigation at the farm of individuals who have applied on it. Like this time, the mega farm has planned over 300 farmers to access irrigation facilities through drilling boreholes in the farms. The government is very keen to change from rain-fed cropping to irrigating cropping. So in the budget that is coming, which will be presented soon by the Minister of Finance, government has put more money in irrigation to facilitate what the honorable member is asking the ministry. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister of Agriculture. Honorable members, it is 11 minutes to 11, and that marks the end of question time. And I'll now suspend proceedings for health break. We shall resume sitting at 17 minutes past. 20 past, I should give you bonus, 20 past 11, House suspended.
Osaiwala kupanga subscribe ku channel ya AMTV Malawi.